control. Net control, this is Kilo Delta 9, Union Kilo Alpha. Kyle is no traffic. Control. Net control, Sierra Juliet Oscar, Steve in Greenville, no traffic. Net control. This is Kilo Bravo 9, Yankee Uniform Charlie. Scott in Appleton, no traffic. Net control, this Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Lima Papa. Roy here, Appleton, a block from Scott. Control. Control, this is Kilo Delta 9er, Zulu Golf Oscar, Joshua, Appleton, no traffic. Control. Check control, this is Kilo Delta. Right now, Control, take a break here. I'll recognize who was able to make it through. There was a considerable amount of doubling and maybe some attempting while the repeater was identifying, it sounded like. So we got Doug, Mr. Poda, AC9XW, glad you could check in, followed by Mike, WI9 Mike. Then we have KD9RFQ, RQF, I'm sorry, KD9R2F. Ron, KD9 WTK, W5TCO Marlin, KD9 UKA, W9SJO, Scott W9YUC, 9BLP, Joshua KD9 Zulu Golf Ocean, Oscar Safe, and Dina KD9 TXA. So those that had tried but got covered up, please try again. WA9T. Over. Break there. November 9 Foxtrot Tango was already recognized. Anybody else? Net control. November 9 Tango, November Whiskey, Bill and Kimberly. Okay, good. We got three more in there. We got KD9YSH. And Rich, WI9SUB, and Bill, glad you checked in, N9TNW. So we'll move ahead from here with second goes. And besides anything open mic on your mind, question for the evening, we're about to close this year, this wonderful year. And what was your most interesting ham radio experience? What was your most interesting ham radio experience in 2023? So with that, we'll go back and start from the top of the list. Fred, N9FT.
off the air for a while, so I really don't have it.
Okay, thanks, Fred. Well, next year's a long year, so I'm sure you'll have some interesting things to report next time around. Doug, this will be interesting. KC9XW.
KC9XW, this is a bit of bacon frying there. I hope I'm coming in loud and clear. Most interesting total activity was going with KV9JDE, Brad and Rush Lake. Headed up Red Mountain one Saturday and hit the Ice Age Trail and one other place on the way back. That was a lot of fun. So that's about it. Got a lot of RFI noise here. Again, I'm going to have to really try to track that down. So 73, thank you for hosting, Larry.
Thanks, Doug. Yeah, you're coming in great. Good signal there. Sorry about a little bit of RFI noise there. What is it, Joe? Anyway, KG9JD, was it? I remember meeting him. And then he was heading down to Arizona, so hope to connect up with him too sometime in the future next year. Next over to you, Mike, WI9, Mike.
Thanks, Larry, and good evening to everybody. And my most interesting ham radio was doing CW with Larry in the UK. So I got a chance to try out that skill and want to do it some more. It was pretty fun. With that, I'll turn it back to Nick. WI9, Mike.
That was a good experience, Mike. And I'd say everybody, Mike, awesome. He just did a great job on field day. Really looking forward to this coming year. With that, over to the TV9R. Yeah. Those are a lot of fun. I'm doing 10 gigahertz contest always that weekend, and I will have comments for Mike at our next board meeting related to your comments there, Jamie, and a little bit about fox hunting too. But yeah, always a good time there at the picnic. Next over to Rod. Rod, you came through well last night. You're good here tonight too. 89 WCK.
Yeah, I think my best moment on ham radio was a couple months ago. I made a contact with a guy in northern Italy. Talked to him for a couple minutes. That's the first and the last time I got outside the U.S. other than Canada. I'm still searching for more. Back to net control, KD9 WCK.
Congratulations on that, Marla. That's a nice accomplishment. Dina down on the list will probably tell you about some of the things that she's been able to do. Pretty amazing on 10 meters. With that, over to KD9 UKA.
Yeah, KD9 UKA here. I would say for my the most thrilling thing here was the box hunt. I built an antenna for that, and that was a good time, even though I couldn't visually find it. It was up the tree, I was looking at the ground. But, yeah, I had a good time doing that. I do want to ask anybody has coax cable willing to loan, coax, I would like to do it Friday because I need to set up a Wolf River coil to do 80 meters for Stanton CQ. I'd like to do that for my niece and nephew, but I don't have a cable to run out to the Wolf River coil. So if somebody could spot me one of those for a day, I would really appreciate it. Let me know at the end and we can go from there. Other than that, this is KD9 UKA.
Okay, and Kyle, where do you live? What's your QTH?
I am in Menasha.
Okay, just checking for what's close. And as we go through the list, maybe some others will comment about available cable. I have plenty of cable, Kyle, if you need some. I live about a mile north of the Timber Rattler Stadium, and whether it's 25, 50 feet, 100 feet, whatever, we have some, or we can string different pieces together. So you're welcome to borrow that from me. There's one possibility. Next over to Steve. Oh, by the way, if you need to touch base with me, just send it an email, Larry, for example, LARRY at WA9TT.com. And I'll be around much of tomorrow as well as a bit on Friday. Over to Steve, W9SJO.
Good evening, Larry, and to the rest of the net. I have to say my most interesting, couple of interesting things in 2023 is I always enjoy being net control. I've been involved with a dozen or so events. Keeps me on the ball. Some of them are pretty fast paced, and I'm just starting to dig into FT8, so that's super interesting. So with that, I'll turn it back to net control from W9SJO.
Thanks, Steve. And it's Mike up there, WA9 Mike for Paxton now, would attest you did a bang-up job as net control for the St. Joe's Food Pantry run walk that we had in October. So appreciate that. Over to Scott, KB9YUC.
WA9TT, KB9YUC. Good evening to everybody on the net. Everybody's sounding pretty good this evening. I would probably have to say my most memorable experience over the year was probably field day this year. That was always a good time, and stayed overnight and got some few technical issues figured out and made quite a few contacts. So it was good all the way around. Back to that. This is KB9YUC.
Yeah, field day was super. Scott was right across from us where Mike was making his first CW contact, and Scott, you did well there, and we believe field day there at the Boy Scout office will be even bigger and better this coming year, and you'll hear more details about that in the coming months from Terry and 9AOP. Okay, over to Roy, KC9DLP.
Good evening to everybody on the net tonight. This is KC9DLP. Thanks for doing the net tonight, Larry. It's a toss-up between the picnic and field day as far as the best events, what's memorable. I haven't made any real long-distance calls from my home PTH here as far as HF and other countries. I guess if I want to go to other countries, they're going to have to reconnect up or just put the coax on my Wolf River coil and set it for 40 or 20. And it seems that my location with the Wolf River coil hits Europe very easily, Europe and Northern Africa. But right now it's Mexico, it's dipole. It's usually the United States, mostly the eastern half. Once in a while it's the west coast. So with that, back to net control to Larry. This is KC9DLP. Roy here in Evan.
very good, Roy. Thanks much. And over to one of our newer hams, Joshua, 89 Zulu Golf Ocean.
Yep. The most memorable thing that I did this year with ham radio is probably that today my brother and I were given an FM 2-meter mobile unit. That's K89 GPO back to net control.
Very good. Is that the one you're using right now, Joshua, or have you put it in action yet?
Oh, I just got it tonight, so it's not set up.
Okay, well, very good. Well, maybe next week or the week after you'll have it going. Your signal sounds really good with the radio you're using tonight. So very good. And over to Dina, KD9TXA.
Well, good evening, everybody. This is KD9TXA, Dina in Appleton. Interesting. I've got a couple things. Just, everything's interesting about ham radio, and I've found that out. As far as the 10 meters, that's very interesting. I've got 9 different countries that I've got contact with. It's a blast. It's kind of exhilarating when you get that one, But the most interesting thing that I did this year was blow up an amplifier. It's about learning, and when it says only 5 watts, it really does mean it. So just keep that in mind. Otherwise, it's fixed. Thank you, Andy. And it's all been just a great time. So I appreciate it, and meeting everybody in the house. That's really cool. I would have never met most of these people before, so that's really cool to me. So this is KD9TXA, back to net control.
Yeah, nice, Dina. And you remind me of something I have never done, since you are the queen of 10 meters here. There's a 1010 membership, very popular for some on, just for the heck of it, I guess, on 10 meters. You can go to the 1010, ten-ten.org website if you're interested. You basically have to work 10 also. 10 members and get their 1010 number, their call sign, stuff like that. I only have 3 down, and they're real simple. They're just local hams here in our club. But if you want to do that, just let you know if you haven't thought about it. That's something that you could do. Okay, over to KD9YSH. Yes, I suspected he might have been in and out, so over to Rich, WI9SUB. Maybe likewise. So over to Bill, N9TNW.
N9 Tango November Whiskey, Bill and Kimberly. Thanks for running the net, Larry. Sounded great on there. My experience, I had 3 of them this year, and I'd say one of them was running single operator on the Wisconsin QSO party. It was very interesting and addictive, I must say. I enjoyed the daylights out of it. The other one was a couple of months ago. That was on 10 meters, and I actually contacted a guy in New Zealand. First time ever with my little 100 watts, and he was running 100 watts, so that was absolutely amazing. And I did get a hold of an aeronautical mobile out in California. That's a first time ever thing. So these 3 things really stand out in this year. So back to net, Larry. Thank you.
Yeah, all very interesting there, Bill. Aeronautical mobile, I don't think I've ever didn't know about it. Worked anybody that way. New Zealand is a heck of a haul. probably about 10,000 miles. So a lot of neat stuff that you did this year. I guess one thing that popped out on my list was Jerry, KB9AIT, had this great idea of going up into the middle of Lake Superior, and we did a Parks on the Air activation POTA at a very uncommon location, which was Isle Royal, not far from the Canadian border. We flew out from Houghton, Michigan, airplane, and landed in the water, so it's kind of a seaplane. And we operated the afternoon with John AB9AH and came back. And so that was a lot of fun. Okay, before we close things down, we'll see if there's any other check-ins for the Fox Cities Amateur Radio Club's 2-meter net. Check-ins is called WA9TT. WA9TT. This is Whiskey 9 Lima Echo X-ray. Alex and Appleton checking in late. WA9TT. This is it, yeah, I know. Okay, very good. We picked up 2 more. We're working on the A's, the alphas in our list now. We have Alex, W9LEX, and Andy, AJ9L. Andy could also talk about another highlight for the year, which is not related to ham radio, but the question was, what's your most interesting ham radio experience in 2023? So, Alex, first of all, to you.
Thanks, Larry, and good evening, everyone. I'd say that the best experience of 2023 was just getting back into ham radio and getting to meet the community that we have here. And we're very fortunate to have very kind and outgoing and generous with their time and knowledge group of people here. And I'm very grateful for that and have enjoyed getting to meet everybody. Back to net, W9LEX.
Super, Alex. Yeah, I'm glad to see you at the meeting and potluck here Monday night. Also helping Alex kick things off, sort of kicking him off, when he and his son were over at the Boy Scout office in October, and we had Jamboree on the air and things like that. And Alex was kind of playing around with his radio at the time, and we were testing that out. So that was a lot of fun. Okay, over to Andy, AJ9L.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. So checking in late, but looking at my watch and realised what time it was. There's so many issues from Larry. Getting the antennas working on the 14533 repeater. Certainly enjoyable. What else? Working on the NSF 5000 repeater. I don't know, I enjoy tinkering with things, so figuring things out for myself and proving things that people think one way or another on, such as the presentation idea. I think those are the things I've enjoyed most this year. Back to Larry.
Hey, thanks, Andy. Yeah, the 145 is really great to have up there. I just talked with a ham tonight, new ham, that will probably be on this net in the future. Lives in Oshkosh, and he's thinking about getting a 991A, and various reasons to do that. One of it will be that it'll have fusion built into it, so he'll be probably getting into the 145.33 fusion system, as well as this repeater here. So yeah, thanks, Andy. Andy does a lot of brilliant things and reverse engineering and stuff, which is really cool, and he tells us about. Well, very nice. Thanks for all checking in. We got 18 here tonight. Hope you all have a very Merry Christmas there. And let's see, before closing the net now, I'll encourage you to use the other repeaters. Andy's going to talk to us about them a bit. The 145-330 repeater and the 443-650 megahertz repeater, both with a negative option negative. If anyone is interested in joining the wonderful and exciting world of amateur radio, go to our club website, which is sparc.club, hit the contact page and leave a message, and typically Mike, WNI Mike will promptly respond to that. Our meetings are normally held the third Monday of the month, so it's just recently at the Maplewood Middle School. I know I've enjoyed seeing several of you there. 1600 Midway Road, in Menasha. And the meeting starts at 7 o'clock local time in the group meeting room, door 17, right in the front. Looks like the vehicle with the antenna. And if you want the repeater talk-in ticket, can be used on 146.76. So for the latest info and updates on the club, visit the website at farc.club and I'd like to thank all the states for checking in tonight. We ask that you please return to the net next week, same time and frequency. Yep, we'll have it after Christmas. This has been a Fox Cities Amateur Radio Club production. I'll now end the net and return the repeater back to normal amateur use. W3, have a super week from WA9.
Net control.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, this is KV9UKA again. I missed who you said was looking for a 991A. However, I do know somebody who's selling 91A. They are interested in buying used. I think it's lightly used, but I'm not positive. But if somebody wants to contact me on that, go right ahead.
Can pass it along to Pat. I don't think he's bought anything. I know he hasn't. He just was kind of thinking about what he's getting it. What's the best way, Kyle? Email or phone number? I could pass it along to him because I have his information. I just talked with him about an hour and a half ago.
I suppose phone number would probably be easiest. They're welcome to call or text. However, it will get declined to call because I won't recognize the phone number. But they are more than welcome to message. You want the number now or?
Are you like me? I never answer my phone if I don't recognize it. Can you leave a voicemail or do you just recommend text? But yeah, just give me the phone number there and I'll pass it along right away.
Yeah, more than welcome to call. It just it declines it if it's not in my contact. So yeah, that's fine. I'll get right back to it. Yeah, number is 920-850-9148. And text or call.
Okay, I'll pass that along right away. If you've got someone used contact with somebody that has a someone used 991A, great radio. And so if he wants to, he'll call you. If not, then but that'll be nice if you'd like to get one nice one that's a little bit. Yeah, thanks, Kyle. KT9 UK8 WA9.
Yeah, and if you wouldn't mind texting me too, I would appreciate it. That's something up that if you own cable, if you don't mind borrowing it.
Oh yeah, well, short of text, I can just tell you. Yeah, I don't know what your availability is. Let me see here. I'll be available at home tomorrow morning. Yeah, I've got I got a schedule, a DX schedule on 70 centimeters at about 6:15. So I'll be available by about 7:30 tomorrow evening as well if you want to pick something up. And to get to me is real simple. You go 41 down Highway 15, you know where the Bergstrom Auto Mall is. Just head north about a quarter of a mile to the stop sign and look up. And just ahead of you will be my tower. So very easy to find.
Yeah, it would probably happen tomorrow evening. I work 6 a.m. p.m. But outside those hours, anytime.
Okay, yeah. Why don't you come by about 7:30 then tomorrow evening? I'll be doing POTA most likely tomorrow afternoon, so it'll be a good part of the afternoon. Back home for dinner, and I got my sked with Ron at down in Malta, Illinois. At 6:15, we talk forever on 7 centimeters, but I'll be done by before 7:30. So I can do some pre-planning. How many feet of cable do you need?
50 feet would be plenty.
Okay, real simple. Yeah, so it'll probably be a couple of connections, no big deal with a barrel head jumper in there. So yeah, I'll easily get to 50 feet. Yeah, I use that for portable stuff and field day and things like that. So it's not in high demand, but it's there when I need to use it. So yeah, you're welcome to it. So just come by around 7:30 or a little after, whatever. And we'll have the Christmas lights on the front. You won't miss it either. It's very easy to find it. 5526 North Castle, if you want the address. But you're going to see lights on my tower. It's going to be real simple. Yeah, just look for the lights on my tower. Christmas lights on my tower. You know, it's be right there. Okay, 73 there, Kyle. I'll catch you tomorrow. 7819.
Yeah, thanks a million. I appreciate it. 7-3. Talk to you tomorrow.
With Alpha 9er, Tango Tango, this Kilo Delta 9er, Yankee with golf. Over.
Okay, Pat, were you copying all of that? We had a 991A available for you.
Indeed, I copied my outbound. Went longer.
Good. Yeah, we'll give him a call sometime if you're interested. He's got a ham brand. I guess he'll have 991A flight with you. Could be a great deal. Save a couple of bucks. Okay. Glad you're listening in. 73 7899. And 7389 YTW. Very good. And also we're going to see first of all, the exam by the Dina is still at 89 or Mike at 89. Mike. They're there. Dina's our membership chairman. Otherwise, I could give you the information for Chris. But I think they could stand by and see either one are there to respond to my question.
Okay, so this is Fred. Right, so Fred, I have your phone number. I can give you a call tomorrow. You're welcome to 89. Stay safely.
WA9TT, this is W9SJO. If you're still there, quick question.
Hi, Steve. Haven't gone upstairs quite yet. Good to see you on there. Nice signal there tonight. Back over to you.
Thank you, sir. You always do a good job as net control also. Quick question. What frequency are you using on 70 centimeter to get the multi-element on?
Great question. 432.090. 432.090. Ron and I talk at length on sideband. Good signals from 170 miles away, virtually every Thursday.
Very good. Are you just doing that on Simplex?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's called weak signal work. The calling frequency is 432.100, CW, sideband. But we get on sideband and we get off the calling frequency and go down 10 kilohertz. And we chat about everything underneath the sun there for about an hour, usually off about 7:15 or so.
Very good, and you said that was on CW?
No. The calling frequency is both for CW and sideband there, Steve. Sorry, misled you on that. But we're on sideband. We talk on sideband. CW rag chewing for an hour would be, we could do it. Yeah, Ron's not too good on CW. Sometimes we'll go to 1296 as well and operate a little bit up there. Usually 1296 is also voice from that distance. If the band is really weak, we'll do CW. And then it's kind of really just a quick exchange of grid square and stuff like that. But those are the two. Before I got my coax fixed because they had water in the darn thing, took forever. But one of the local hands in our club was terrific in getting helping getting that fixed. We were operating on the 222 band, 222.090. Ron doesn't like that as well. You get out actually better, a little bit better, I guess, on 70 centimeters. So we did the DX on that frequency instead.
Very good. I appreciate the information. I'd be curious if I could just listen in, but I don't think I have any sideband equipment for 70 centimeters. So over to you.
Okay, so you don't have an HF rig that gets on 2 and 70 centimeters, is that right?
That's correct. I think it only gets down to like 6 meters.
Yeah, well, that's common. Same thing with I got an ICOM 7300 here, and that goes to 6 meters, and that's it. So I'm operating with my ICOM 705. Of course, I have an amplifier that brings up the power, but so that's what I use. So yeah, you need like the 991A, the AZ we're talking about. You could easily listen in with that. You'd hear my side of the conversation. You'd never hear Ron without the right antenna. But you'd be able to hear me because we're not too far away. But yeah, you're I don't know what would happen. It wouldn't be very good if you took your radio here and tried FM down there. You probably wouldn't understand us at all. I've never thought about that. But yeah, you need an HF, VHF, UHF rig like the 991A, my ICOM 7100. Something like that. A bunch of those rigs can do that. But otherwise, yeah, you'd be welcome to listen in. Don't have too many people that are listening in on that frequency. Not like some of the other bands. Back to you, Steve.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be overly nosy or anything like that. It's just that kind of distance fascinates me. Over to you.
Yeah, 6-7 years ago, I never thought anything like that was even possible. But you know, now I get up on 10 gigahertz, which is a hyper high frequency, and I can actually work RON also. The conditions are right, not more in the summer when it's nice to get outside and do it. But I can get out 200 miles or better on 10 gigahertz of weight sometimes, speed up sometimes. 1296, do it on 902 megahertz, 70 centimeters, 222, 2 meters. It's hit and miss on 6 meters. 6 meters is a different monster. But 2 meters, kind of, this band kind of, but as you get higher in frequencies, to some extent it's easier to get out further.
Very good. The 100 for 2 meters, 70 centimeters. Over to you.
Yeah, okay, yeah, so, well, if you ever get an HF rig that has those capabilities for 2 and 70, at least you could listen in and do that stuff. And, yeah, there is a net, too, that's on a 2-meter net. I have stopped getting on that. That's every Wednesday at the same time as this net here. A guy in about 60 miles west of us operates a net. He turns his antenna in different directions. Calls, and a few of us check in. I don't know how many check-ins he has. It's kind of light, but he does run a nice little round-the-horn net from north-south, northeast, southwest is the way he runs his antenna, I think.
Very good. I'll keep that in mind. The sideband and the 222 rigs are on my wish list, so one thing at a time.
Okay, well, we'll say 73. But besides that, you're going to have a horizontally polarized antenna. It will not cut it with a vertical. You have no chance. Horizontally polarized. To begin with, you could try it with a halo, omnidirectional halo. Better off then is to get a Yagi with a rotor, Steve. So, and if you need any help on that, I've gone from nothing, standstill, not even crawling, several years ago to do quite a bit of SJO, W89.
Very good, Larry.